The Magnificent Battle, Merlin, Arthur's Court, and the Mistress of Time, by the Magus, read by the Magus. 5 kids. 5 kids, 3 siblings and their 2 cousins, have a problem with time. It's not that they can't get to school before the bell rings. It's not that they are always late to band or taekwondo practice. It's not even that they wake up on Tuesday and go back to sleep because they hope it's Saturday. No, it's nothing that simple. These 5 kids have a much larger problem with time. They keep falling into folds of it, chasms of time, falling off ledges of it as big as the Grand Canyon, into the abyss of the past. To someone who didn't know, it might seem to be really exciting to fall, or let's say to travel in time. Perhaps it would be if every experience didn't involve such difficult problems, life and death struggles, and, worst of all, uncertainty of ever getting back home. No, these 5 would prefer to live like normal kids, seeing their friends at school, playing in the band, going home to immerse themselves in games on their computers or phones, reading books with a dog or a cat, and sometimes a dog and a cat, curled up in their lap, or watching television at their grandparents' farm. Just being kids. Yes, they would prefer not to have this problem, but that appeared not to be their destiny. Somehow they were called to something more. They possessed something they could not escape, that made demands on them. Without wishing it, they had become peaceful warriors, fighting for others against dark forces, making sure that people were not oppressed. What happened to cause these harrowing trips into the past was unknown to them. They hadn't willed it, they hadn't wanted to travel through time, but they had. The first time it happened, they found themselves in ancient Knossos. Without really trying to, they caused the downfall of a tyrant, a very nasty woman whom they called Snake Woman because she had pet snakes and a sacred beast. This horrible woman used her evil magic and the people's fear of snakes to oppress them and make them do her bidding. By her mega skills, she convinced the people of Knossos that she was a god and turned them into her slaves until the kids unmasked her and the people rebelled and overthrew her. Her anger at the kids for upsetting her extravagant life became her passion. Having the ability to travel through time, she vowed that she would find them and take her revenge. The kids managed to get back from Knossos to their comfortable homes in the 21st century and hoped that they would never to time travel again. Little did they know that it would not be so simple. It happened again. This time they found themselves in ancient Greece at Olympus, at the Olympic Games. They had the good fortune to meet some famous characters: Alexander the Great, Philip, his father, Socrates, Praxiteles, the sculptor, and more. Unfortunately, when they traveled through time, the kids left a trail. Although not tangible, it was something comparable to falling stars in the night sky, or perhaps better, like leaving footprints across a sandy beach. These could be tracked by that evil Snake Woman, whom they hoped they had left behind. Soon they discovered that Snake Woman had followed them there. She seemed to be able to travel time like climbing up and down a ladder. She had planned a fitting punishment for them, for what they did to her in Knossos. They were saved by good luck, Athena, and a dog, before making it back to their homes. In both of the prior travels, there was a task to complete before they were able to return home. They didn't know what the task was or how to perform it until they got to wherever they were being taken back in time. They had to use their intelligence and good sense to put together the pieces of the puzzle, but completing the task was the key to their return to safety. Once again, the kids find themselves falling into a chasm of time. When they emerge, they are in Britain, Wales to be more precise, in the time of King Arthur and his Round Table. This is not by chance. It happens to be a place where Snake Woman, with all her manipulative and destructive power, has moved and taken up residence. What brought her here was a prophecy. It concerned a child who, if he survived into adulthood, would be a powerful white magus and work for good. Her attention was brought by the evil magi of the time who wanted to destroy him before he could gain his powers. Of greatest interest to her, however, was her discovery that this child would be a direct ancestor of the 5 wretched kids for whom she holds such hatred. If she could find this child and destroy him, the 5 kids would not be born. While she is at it, if she could destroy Arthur with his round table and the council of Magus elders, history would be changed to become much more chaotic, something much to her liking. Oh, that would bring much more suffering, more killing, more hunger, and evil into the world for others, but not for her. She could exploit chaos to her advantage. With the prospect of the extinction of these 5 kids and their entire line, she would be even freer to exploit those she finds as she travels through time. The 5 kids have no idea how they've gotten here, what they must do, or how to do it. They do not even know where they are when they arrive. They only know that these trips through time always involve some task to perform. Without knowing the task, they soon find they are off on a quest that will decide whether they live or cease to exist, and if a thread of harmony will prevail in the world. They must save their ancestor, but they don't know it. Even if they did, they don't know how to find him. All this is clouded by the strength of powerful dark forces that stand in their way. This is not a job for the faint-hearted. That is the reason they were chosen.